Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are still at PlayStation Experience, and I have the great pleasure of being joined by Ted Bryce, the founder and CEO of Insomniac Games. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So first of all, you did a great job on stage at our keynote, so I give you a digital pat on the back. But the big news out of that, besides your pat on the back, is that you announced the release date for the next Ratchet Clank, which is coming to PS4 on April 12th of next year, right before the feature film. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that? One of the points you made on stage was that this project for you started out as a reimagining of the original, which many people hold dear, but then it turned into something much more.
It did, and I know as somebody who loves to go back and play old games, there's always a balance that we hope developers strike between bringing enough of the original back to make it feel nostalgic, but introducing new stuff at the same time that'll pull us through. So for us, it was really important to add a lot for Ratchet fans while remaining true to the franchise. So this game has a redone story. It's actually told from Captain Quark's perspective, which really
it's completely reliable.
Exactly, and it really twists things quite a bit. It has modernized controls. So if any of you played the original Ratchet, you probably remember that we didn't have lock strafe, which is a big deal when you're talking about a third-person action game. So that's, of course, integrated along with all of the other control tweaks we made over the years. Has brand new weapons, updated weapons from the old games, and we've even brought some weapons from the Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time back into this game, which is unique. We have new Clank gameplay, new bosses, obviously updated visuals.
Just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Just compared to the original one, just a little updated. And Greg is actually backstage playing the demo that you guys showed during the keynote, correct?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Now, the stuff that we were looking at during the keynote, was that the intro scene where they first have their faithful encounter and Ratchet actually meets Clank? Was that all done in engine, or are you guys talking about that? These
We're actually doing, the majority of the cutscenes are done in engine right now. But there are cutscenes that we integrate from the movie as well.
Oh, yes.
And so what's nice is that it is a little difficult to tell sometimes what's what. And
that's crazy that that's actually happening.
It's cool how far video game technology's come, and I think it has a lot to do with the power of the platforms we work on. I mean, we can render so much more than we could before in terms of complex materials, in terms of lighting with global illumination. I mean, in terms of just the sheer amount of stuff on screen, it really helps us get more creative even. Because when we were going back and looking at the original Ratchet and playing through Velden, for example, there were a lot of things that we wanted to do originally that we simply couldn't do. And I'm sure you hear this from most developers who go back to their original games. And now we can do it. And we can make it even more, I'd say, like you're there in Velden, just because, as you can tell, the lighting is significantly better. The effects have higher fidelity.
Significantly better is an understatement. It looks amazing. It looks really good. I'm so excited because I was actually a big fan of the Future series on PS3. That's what we were talking about. That was like one of my first interviews in the industry was with you guys for Tools of Destruction, and now here we are. Years later, and you guys get to go back and kind of tell this important story. By the way, those little glowy dudes are the cutest things imaginable.
Thanks.
I like that you put in little things like that just to keep that little world-building minutia that really lends itself to the universe.
That's really important to us too, because if you're a player exploring these different planets, you want something to help, grab you, and it is those tiny touches.
Yeah.
And everybody on the team suggests all sorts of crazy stuff all the time.
Like things that get cut all the time?
Well, yes, of course, some don't work, but many do, and that's the importance of having a big team who's fully invested in it and also knows the franchise well, because figuring out what fits and what doesn't fit is as important as coming up with new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And Groovatron right here. That's the correct name of this version of the Groovatron.
Yes,
right?
It is still the Groovatron. It's just a little bit more snazzy.
What about tell us about some of the other weapons, because that's obviously what you guys are known for, is being really creative with your weapon design. And I think Greg has a couple at his disposal here in the demo, right?
Well, the Pixelator is what he's showing right now, and that for us was, again, another typical Insomniac weapon where we were brainstorming and thinking what would be cool. And so this also is sort of a nod back to 8-bit games, because it changes enemies into their 8-bit versions. And, of course, they break into blocks.
I didn't even notice that. Okay, awesome.
So when you kill them, they actually they sit there for a while, and then you can go smash them, and they turn into little pixelized blocks.
That looks so good. Do you have any other weapons in this build, or was it just Pixelator and Groovatron?
Let's see, Greg, what do you got there? Okay, we got the combustor.
Classic. Nice and simple. I like that one.
And the combustor, for me, has always been one of the go-to weapons, because in a third-person action adventure, you want something that's sort of a meat and potatoes gun, something that'll work at any time. And of course, we've upgraded this one too. The bomb glove is something that was one of my favorites from the very first Ratchet, mostly because it's just easy, and it has an area of effect.
Right.
But the key for us with all of our Ratchet weapons is to create a strategic balance, so that when you built up your arsenal as you're moving through the game, you have the right tools at your disposal as you're encountering these different types of enemies with different behaviors. And we definitely ask players to think hard about their choices. The other thing that we've done too with the weapons is we've changed the upgrade system. So
oh yes, please tell me more about that, because I love upgrades. Are the best.
It's deep. So you go in, and as you're moving through the game, you're collecting raritanium, and you use those raritanium shards to choose what aspects of these weapons you want to upgrade. And every weapon has several different stats that you can upgrade. But better, as you're doing it, you get to unlock really cool new abilities for the weapons. And it happens on every weapon, and there's a cool UI screen that allows you to go in and get lost, really, in the whole upgrade scheme. So yes, and that was, for us with the Ratchet franchise, it's been important to make something that's more than just an action adventure. It's something with depth, something where you have a reason to go back to previous levels and explore to find stuff you didn't know was there. And that's driven by the economy in the game. It's driven by weapon upgrades and other things that we introduce.
Awesome. Do we have any more of the demo, or is Greg in the loop?
Greg's actually about to jump into Kermon.
Oh, yes. Good.
Which is Metropolis, again, reimagined from the first game. This was actually the first level we built when we were demoing the game to Sony. This is the first one that
good choice.
we put together. Well, yeah, it was what I remember is how we were building the traffic patterns. And if Greg, at some point will probably look out over one of these areas. There you go.
Oh my God.
And you can see in the background, you can see some of way back there, you can see some streams of traffic. And of course, he'll encounter that as he moves further into the level. But this is a big level. And back then, we were really trying to push the PlayStation 2 hard in terms of what it could draw.
Right.
And fortunately, we can push it even harder.
Just a little bit further. And the density of visuals that you guys are able to achieve here is just incredible, and I love it. And again, it has the world building. It tells a story. You guys mix in your humor as well. I mean, how do you get all that stuff together as a studio? Like, how do you wrangle all those different elements?
Collaboration. I mean, it really is. First of all, it's nice to know what the franchise is all about. So we've all worked on Ratchet for a long time, but we open it up for people to submit ideas. And then we have a creative director who's responsible for shepherding all those ideas, collecting them, and then asking, is this consistent? Does it work? Does it fulfill what we want to do with the game? And so that's been our structure for years, and it's worked.
I also want to publicly thank you for putting so many breakable crates in your games, because I have like this weird thing with breakable crates. I love breakable crates. I basically just break them and collect gears all the time.
Do you like to clean things?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. See, I can't stand it when I walk into a messy room. I have to clean it up. So in games like this,
you just take a wrench out. You just start smashing your whole living room up.
Yeah, and then
but I
don't get bolts for it.
Okay, he died there. That's okay. That's all part of the show, everybody.
That's right. It's real. This is real gameplay.
So what else, once you guys built this demo, like how did you guys, in development, kind of build out the rest of the game? Like how did you approach it? What is your process? Because you guys have done Ratchet so much now. You guys have the experience. You must be able to like really feel familiar with it.
Well, it usually starts with the macro design. So it's an overall layout of the game, and so we're charting out where the player's going to go, what he or she could earn in different spots, where we want the player to backtrack, and that ends up being a sort of a Bible for the game. But along the way, we're always open to modifying it. And in this case, we did when we realized that we had an opportunity to make the game add to the game. For example, we put 3 new planets into this game. For all the existing planets you go to, there's significantly different gameplay than we had in the original in terms of adding new spaces. We were also working with the guys making the movie as well, collaborating with them on the story because we wanted to make sure there were points where the game and the movie intersected. Now, it's important to note that this is not a movie game. This is not a game that is using the movie story, and the movie isn't using the game story, but they have some really cool moments where they come together.
But this is a game based on a movie based on a game.
That is true. Yes.
Probably the best trailer moment that we've had. I have a personal question for you.
Yeah.
Did you guys put the negotiator in this game, or can you not reveal that as of right now?
I'm gonna let we're gonna reveal more and more of the arsenal as we get closer to launch.
For some reason, it's such a simple joke to have a missile launcher as the negotiator, but I saw that and that was like my favorite weapon for the longest time in the Future series.
You just like the name because it's
just like the name. Yeah. The name stuck with me, and then I started using it, and it's super handy as well.
It's a very effective weapon.
And poured a bunch of resources into it. What are we seeing right here now? Where in the story is this level take place?
This is fairly early in the game, and Ratchet & Clank have just joined this new group, or this group formed by Captain Quark, and they're going on missions to sort of prove themselves as Galactic Rangers. And Quark is sort of directing them, and they've just saved the Hall of Heroes, and the adventure will unfold. And there are lots of twists and turns, as there are in most of our games.
Of course. Yes. Well, Ted, I'm so glad you were able to be here. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with me and with us at PlayStation Experience here. Now, real quick, do you have any final messages for the PlayStation Nation, especially Ratchet & Clank fans?
Just thank you. I mean, over the years for us as developers, it has been awesome watching the love come in for Ratchet & Clank and to realize that people understand what we were going for, which is making games with heart, games that demonstrate the friendship between the characters, and games that have humor. I mean, I don't think we see that too often today, but our fans have really appreciated the fact that we can occasionally make people laugh.
Awesome. You make me laugh a lot.
Cool.
Yes, thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. And do not go anywhere, everyone, because we have a lot more show here in San Francisco at PlayStation Experience. Pretty soon we will be going to a panel on VR. So if you have any interest in PlayStation VR and the next generation of gaming technology, please do not go anywhere. We will be back here. Tune in to live.playstation.com for everything. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again, Ted, and stay with us.
PlayStation